Your final day in prison, what was that like? Take us back.
I mean, it felt unreal. But my final day in prison, I kind of got surprised. I got the day before my final day, I got picked up from the prison. I thought I was gonna be released there, and got transferred to Georgia on some old charge that violated my probation, which I wasn't supposed to. I felt like it was supposed to be already all handled because it violated my probation, and the charge was a misdemeanor, and I served 30 months. So I'm figured that it should be, you know what I'm saying?
Like it should run together?
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be. But they were saying something about my classification officer or something, then whatever, when everything's supposed to be handled. But I didn't know getting a date. I only got out a day after. One day after I was supposed to get out, so it wasn't too bad.
You thought it was going to be worse, though?
Yeah, I ain't really know anything. I'm just thinking like, oh man, it felt too good to be true. Mm-hmm. I felt like I'm finna go home and eat some real food. Yeah.
Now, your original final release day that it was supposed to be, how far in advance did you know this was going to be your final day for sure?
I ended up knowing the beginning of February 2nd.
And you got out?
February 15th.
Now, is this something that you keep quiet from other prisoners? Is this something you don't mind sharing with others?
Yeah, sometimes it depends on. Some people don't. With me, they kind of knew with me I was ready to go. So it's kind of like, yeah, man, I go home this day. You feel me?
Now, while you were locked up too, and I didn't get a chance to talk to you about this on the last segment of you going into prison and that sort of thing, was your record label, you had help, I don't know, were you still releasing music while you were locked up or no?
No, I wasn't releasing music when I was locked up. I was more like building a structure, like, so when I come home, everything be lined up.
Was that something that was talked about, like with your team, like, hey, you know, you're locked up for 2.5 years, but let's keep your name and your brand alive. We have some music on a hard drive we could put out.
That's all we talked about every day, every other day. That's all we talked. That's what kept me motivated. I like to hear that the music growing or just little stuff. I like to just hear it.
But what kept you from like releasing content while you were locked up? What held you back from doing that? Because sometimes, you know, I think like when Gucci Mane was locked up and he did his bit, they were still releasing mixtapes and stuff.
Some situations be different. It worked out better for him in that situation. I was actually getting some paperwork and stuff right with the old contract. So I kind of like, yeah, but everything now. So
I see.
Yeah.
Do you think that helped or hurt you though? Like, let's just say it was a perfect world. Would you have wanted music to be released while you were locked up, or it didn't?
Yeah, I always want music to be released. But it happened this way for a reason. I can't regret it. It's the way the man above wanted to go, so that's how it went. I'm thankful.
Now, okay, you're about to be released. Are you thinking that as soon as you're released, man, you're gonna have a bunch of shows, people aren't gonna be, they can't wait to book you, it's gonna be, because when you got locked up, it's not like your name was down or dying or your brand was a bad brand. You had a healthy brand when you had gotten locked up. You were moving up. You weren't like...
Yeah. My brand, what was the question again?
I guess my question is, when you felt like you were about to be released, did you think that, hey, you're going to have a bunch of shows, people can't wait to book you because you haven't been around for a while, or...
I came home to a lot of shows. I actually came home to a good situation. I came home with a lot of money in the bank from promoters and stuff that was waiting to book me. So I actually did come home to a lot of shows. I took the first week off I got on. and then I was back doing shows.
1 week after you leave prison, you're back doing shows.
Yeah.
Was there anybody on your team saying, hey, maybe we should wait a month? Maybe,
As a matter of fact, no, we waited till March 1st, so it was 2 weeks. I got February, 2 weeks.
So 2 weeks after you're released.
We're back on the road.
So how does that work? Do you have to like practice? Like, I mean, you haven't performed in 2.5 years. Do you even practice for something like that? Do you like take a day and just like kind of, how does that work? Or are you practicing live in front of everybody?
I didn't practice for that one. I was practicing in front of them. I was turned up. I was enjoying the situation like they were. I was happy to be there. I guess it was natural. Yeah, I ain't need no practice.
Your first show, was it nervous, excited, awkward?
It was exciting. All the people that I was shocked that they were still waiting on me after all the years I was gone. So I was shocked.
Now, how do you put that show list together? The performance, the songs you're going to do in your performance? Because, okay, you already had been doing performances before you get locked up, right? You had a good brand, everything was healthy. You get locked up, nobody's heard from you in 2.5 years. Your first show back, how do you determine what songs you'll do first? Are you doing your hottest stuff first? Are you doing a small set of just I don't know, how does that work?
We mixing it up. We trying to put the ones we know they know and spread them out through it to make them keep the balance on the show, you know. But as far as we do like anything to keep the crowd, you know what I'm saying, watching, interested, and that's what we do.
Did you feel rusty? Did you feel rusty?
Yeah, at first when I came home, I felt like I had to find my groove, like I had to find out what was going on. But then once I went to see him, I'm like, okay, you know.
Your appearance is different too. I mean, you didn't have the locks.
Nah, I got the locks, man. DLC, the state prison, you have to cut your hair when you go to prison. You gotta get a bald head. My dreads was cut.
How did you feel?
You know, I hated it. I love my dreads. We done been together for so long. It felt like they took a part of me. But I'm still strong. I'm straight.
Now, before you had to chop them off, how long have you, as far as time-wise, how long were you growing those locks for?
I had my dreads over 9 years.
9 years of locks.
Yeah,
chopped off.
I love my hair.
That can be emotional for some people.
Yeah, it's emotional.
I guess it's different rules for different prisons in different states, because I've seen some people go in with their locks and they come out with their locks. And I don't know if it's a
like
federal or state thing.
Federal. If you go federal, you can have your locks. But not if you gotta go to state and keep your locks, no.
Because I remember when Lil Wayne had got locked up at Rikers, and he went in with his locks and he came out with his locks.
I actually don't know about the situation. I don't know. You know.
I don't know his exact details either, but I know he went to prison with them and he came out with them. Now, how long before you got back into your groove? How many shows in before you felt like the rust was gone? Because you did have a full calendar.
I say 2.
2 shows.
Yeah.
And it was back like you.
Yeah,
it was normal.
Yeah, it was normal.
Did you have to change the set of your show, song selection in your show?
Yeah, yes, the length and all that, and, you know.
So there were some adjustments.
Being made.
Now, I kind of got off track there a little bit. I want to go back to the first day you came home. First day you came home. You don't have to do parole, you don't have to do probation anymore, everything's final?
Everything's final. No more papers.
Don't have to walk on eggshells?
No.
Now, when you got out the first day, was it emotional?
Yeah, for my people it was emotional. For me, I was more like yeah, I'm here now. But you know, It was all love.
First person you saw. Very first person you saw.
A girlfriend. A girlfriend, yep. I seen her first. She came and got me.
First thing you did on your day out. Absolute first thing. As soon as you got out.
I had got released from another jail, so I went inside the store and changed clothes. I went and put on something else besides what I was released in.
First meal. Remember what you had first meal back?
You know, it's crazy. My first meal was really like fast food because I had got released in Georgia, so I wanted to cook and stuff. But I think I ate Hardee's first. That's crazy.
Now, eating back in free society, does that sit okay in your stomach, or is that something that like runs right through you? Because
it said okay in mine. I was ready to eat. I ain't care if it messed it up or not. It ain't even matter. I was ready to eat.
How soon before you had sex for the first time?
I had sex that night. As soon as I got out, less than, I ain't waste no time. 30 months, I ain't waste no time.
Now, you've been out for how long at this point?
Like 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
How easy or hard has it been for you to adjust back into the free world?
It's easy for the free world, but it wasn't hard at all. I wasn't going too long where I just forget, I was blessed to not have a real bill where I lose everything.
What did you miss out on, though, if anything? Because I know...
Doing what I want to do, working, doing what I want to do, girls, all that, just the little stuff.
But what about, like, technology? Like, was there anything you weren't used to? Like, I mean, was Uber around 2.5 years ago for you?
No,
I don't know.
It wasn't no Uber and all that, Lyft and all that.
Yeah, it wasn't, right?
So, I learned there's more stuff that...
Did that stuff surprise you? Like the Uber and the Lyft and all that?
Yeah, it's better. Everything better now. The world growing.
Was there anything that shocked you?
Huh?
Was there anything that shocked you, being back in free society? I mean, you were gone like you referred to it, it wasn't that much time. But again, to somebody that's never been to state prison before, I mean, 2.5 years, that's...
Yeah, that's what it was none that really shocked me too bad. Not really.
How long before that institutionalized feeling wore off?
Probably like a month after I got out.
Somebody watching this, maybe they're just getting out of state prison themselves, right?
Yeah.
And there's circumstances could be different for everybody, but any do's or don'ts adjusting back into society? Anything you would advise somebody coming up?
Don't get out of prison rushing fast trying to get back to where you left off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Be smarter. You know what I'm saying? Hustle smarter, not harder, Stay focused, dude. Don't let your old ways, you know what I'm saying, take over you, what you've been thinking not to do. You feel me? That's all I say.
Did you have a good support system when you got out?
Yeah. I had a good support system the whole time.
Did you stay in shape?
I was when I was in prison. I was active. I was hooping and stuff. When I got out, I really wasn't doing nothing.
It was over.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
Now, okay, as far as state prison is concerned, right? And I'm sure there could be a variety of answers to this next question, but give me one. What would you change about the state prison system if you could? What's one thing you would do?
I mean, I don't know. I make it like, where the inmates get an equal chance. You feel me? Because you automatically assume guilty, so it's crazy how it is.
You think this will change in your lifetime?
No, I don't think it'll change. There's a lot of stuff that change. I don't know. I'll take that back, but we hope it do.
Some people will say prison is like modern-day slavery. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, free the slaves, that's what we call it. We say free the slaves. No.
Okay, now talking about music once again. You get released, 2 weeks later, you're doing shows, right?
Yeah.
But how soon before you actually hit the recording studio after you were released?
Probably about 2 weeks.
2 weeks
right
also?
after the show, yeah.
Did you do the recording studio first or the show first?
Show first. I did the show first.
Kind of surprised it took you 2 weeks to get to that studio. I've done interviews with people, and that's like one of the first things they do right away.
I actually was waiting. I actually waited first. I actually waited before I got in the studio. I wasn't even trying to record at first. When I first came out, I had all the stuff ready to record, but I wasn't. I was trying to catch up with my people and stuff first.
Ah, I see. When you did hit the recording studio, were you nervous? Were you excited?
I was excited. I wasn't nervous.
Rusty also?
I wouldn't say I was rusty. I kind of say because I listened to so much music back there, so I kind of like, I used to, I used to make music to other people's beats. You feel me? So I was kind of on point.
Did you rap different?
Nah, not really. Just had more of a story to tell.